To call and to speak to Kellie, use these numbers. Dial 605-472-5765. Then dial the access code 608060#. Then to join the session, which will be awesome. Congratulations, you are now ready. Tell everyone we expect 1,000 people listening on their phones from all over the world.
This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Good evening, and welcome to Conscious Speaks. Let me tell you a little about the host. Her name is Kellie J. Wright. You all know her. Tonight, be a part of the conversation. What it means to truly love yourself. Free of judgment, fear, ego, pride, and jealousy. She says, we learn to undo what we have accepted or taken on as part of our perception of self. We are free from negative self-talk. Start a 90-day transformation, and she will assist along your journey. Whenever two or more are in his presence is how this works. Kellie's ebook is how she walked her mind out of doubt and fear, one blog at a time for 13 weeks, into loving and acceptance of self. The first step is the hardest, and it will become a way of life. Once we know we can free our thoughts from fear, the work becomes a staple item to the goodness it provides. Life is a gift. So make sure you choose to wrap yours in a world that is created by and lived on your terms. Kellie J. Wright is a successful radio show host, self-love transformational guide, business owner, and voice and author at www.internaljourneys.com. Kellie is on a passion-filled mission to help individuals discover their own truth through her actualized process called the 90-Day Transformation. Now, may I introduce to you, the audience, to the entire world, to the universe, to the light, Kellie J. Wright. Oh, yeah.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody out there that's listening. This is Kellie J., the voice and author at Internal Narcissists and Internal Journeys, a spiritual transformation. Checking in from Ashford, Washington today. It's sunny and warm here, finally. And we have a special guest on the show today. We have a special guest that her name is Beth Shaw. And she is someone that I found spirit-led and connected to through Google, through social media. Bob, what do you think about that?
Oops. It's like, I told you what I did on Facebook this week. I mean, it was just something I'm not a Facebook kind of person. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to go out on Facebook and say, "Oh, give me a lake," or a like,
You a what?
a lake, or a lake,
Oh.
or a like, or whatever, you know.
Your
I mean,
accent cracks me
no,
up
I'm being a little nuts, but at the same time that you ask for all these likes and everything else, and that, let's face it, I
Okay.
mean, a couple bucks and you can get 10,000 like this. Pow, you can cheat.
Right. Right. Well, that's not really where I was going with this. What I think is really cool is that social media is this great platform that we can connect to all over the world, just like a Pyramid One network, right? We have social media, we have the energy, the connection, electricity, these wires, fiber optics, everything that's connecting us. We can literally sit where we are and connect all over the world. You mentioned having to call and do a shout out to Singapore today, right?
Yeah.
We talk about doing radio shows in Bali, wherever. It's one of those things where it's this great what's the word I'm looking for? Modality to communicate. But as we've spoke about on different shows, everything that we do is how we communicate inside of ourselves. We have one language, it's ours, and that's how we use it to connect to everything. And so how we're connecting with social media is how we're connecting inside. And I know this because I've watched myself. Part of a transformation journey is to watch yourself. You start to learn, after you can step outside of yourself and see yourself, then you can start working with yourself. And you get to start looking at your cycles and how we're secular beings, and different patterns come up in the tree of us. And I learned that when I'm mad at social media, it's not social media, it was me. Something's going on inside. If I was really happy with social media, then things are going really well. If I'm just good, life is good, then everything that we interact with is how we're interacting with ourselves. That can be a political candidate, that can be a book, that can be food, water, earth, breath, our lover, our family. Literally, how we are internally communicating with ourselves is how we communicate with our world. Because people are different, we can move those people, and then that will change our frequency. But our frequency is always the same. We're just changing the direction we're looking to tend our mirrors, to tend our personal mirrors. And so when I reached out to do some, as you know, Bob, I'm doing this 10-week directive, and everybody out there, my Kundalini Animal Speak directive, I decided I had a really tough experience with sugar. I had cut it out for a while, and then I did something really bad. I bought a gallon of ice cream, and I ate it in 2 days.
Give her a big spoon, yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is I take everything as a lesson for growth, and it was me showing myself quite literally what sugar does. I had a really bad dream. I'm a dream worker, so I wake up in my dreams. I'm awake in my dream. I can be awake in several parts of it, and I can direct my dreams, and I'm just very active in that part of my life. And when I'm in a dream and I can't get myself out of it, that's very frustrating. And I knew I wanted to wake up, and I kept trying to wake myself up, but the sugar had me. I must have hit that wall. And that's when I laid down to do a dream work session. And that was in the session that showed me basically, this is what sugar can do to you. And so I thought, whoa, bingo, I've got to look at this. And so I Googled, I love that when words come out.
See, I was
wrong.
a bit as you were. I said lake.
Oh, I thought that was your accent. But I Googled sugar, spirituality and sugar. And what time is it? We're going to call Beth at 6:10, so we've got a couple of minutes. I Googled spirituality and sugar, and what came up was an article from Spirituality and Health magazine, who is a syndication that I write for. So I was like, oh yeah, spirit-led. And I read this whole article on spirituality and sugar, and it was written by, well, our guest today, Beth Shaw. I'm spirit-led and I don't go digging, so I just thought, cool, I want to invite this lady on the show to talk about her article. And then I started looking at Beth, and Beth is this amazing woman on top of, all this. She does YogaFit. She created this whole yoga structure around fit yoga. And so we're going to have her on today, and we're going to talk to her. She is really fascinating. YogaFit was founded in 1994. It's the largest yoga mind-body fitness school in the world, and they emphasize sports science and alignment principles. So really, they're working with that physical, like kind of sports. It's a sports type yoga. I haven't heard of this before, so I'm really excited to have her on the show. And it says that they mix it with ancient traditions of yoga, right? So bringing yoga to everybody in a safe, accessible, and adaptable way, which is really what I'm trying to do with self-love, right? So I'm really excited to talk to Beth and talk to her not just about her YogaFit. It's worldwide, and she does a worldwide karma yoga where they give back. And it's part of what their instructors do for their internship, so that's very cool. And really have her talk about the pituitary gland and sugar and how that can calcify and works with spirituality. So I'm excited to have Beth on for a spirit-led conversation, and she should be coming on pretty soon.
Well, I'm calling her, right?
Okay, I'm going to call her.
Okay, now, this is what we're going to do. Let me just make this announcement first. Now, those of you that are in the conference room, the call-in, the regular call-in number, just stay where you are, and I have muted you so that you do not, mess around with the other call that we're making, because this is kind of sort of something that we're doing on the cuff. So just bear with us when we do this, and let's just cross our fingers and just hope everything works. And we will get to you by the end of the show, I promise.
And what Bob is meaning by on the cuff is Beth came on to do the show, but she had something really important come up, so we all jumped through hoops to make this call happen. So let's cross our fingers that everything works well.
Oh, I'm doing it really good from my side, so,
Hi, Beth. This is Kellie Wright. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Beth, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, I can hear you. Beth, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Would you prefer that I'm just parking my car so that I can focus on our call? Would you Would you prefer that I put my headphones on?
Yeah, then you'll be able to hear. I think you'll be able to hear us better, wouldn't she, Bob? On her call, she was leaving. She has a very important meeting that came up that she's fitting us in. So if she's in the call, she's asking if it's better to have the headphones in.
Well, she's got Beth. You have buds, right?
I do. I'm just going to ask you to hang on for 1 second because I'm just trying to navigate some New York City parking here.
Yeah.
Good.
Bob's from New York, so he understands.
Yeah, I'm from New York, so that's why I'm in Florida.
Yeah, well, that sounds really lovely right now.
Oh, it is beautiful.
Yes, I'm just trying to park so that outside of where my meeting is going to be, so that I can give you my full attention. You know how it is. Everybody's trying to steal the spot from me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll pick up your car and move it down the street.
I think it's interesting that I get to park in New York. I'm living vicariously through Beth right now. I'm parking in New York. And it's 3:13 in.
Oh, yeah. I drove around New York for 35 years. Forget about it. I can park on a dime anywhere.
Yeah, one learns a lot of skills.
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Although next time I get a car, I'm going to get a smaller one.
The Volkswagen.
I brought my LA car to New York. Okay, mission accomplished.
Yay! Congratulations, Beth. It's so good to hear your voice. Sounds amazing.
Another thing that I can do is I can put you on the speaker on my car, which goes through the car, if that's better. Or the buds. You tell me what the audio quality will be like.
We hear you.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay.
You sound good.
Okay, great.
Yay! Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on to talk with me today at Conscious Speaks Radio, and to make time for us in the middle of a very important meeting that came up. I know that you are doing Harvard Business School, or you have a Harvard group that you work with?
Yes, I went back to school last year. 20-something years later, I'm doing a 3-year program at Harvard called OPM, which is Owners, Presidents, Management. And it basically teaches entrepreneurs and people in family business how to really run a business, as opposed to, like, I started mine out of my living room in the trunk of my car without too much formal business knowledge.
Right. Oh my goodness. That is beautiful. I love that because I looked at when I first found you. I found you by Googling sugar and spirituality, and I found an article you wrote on Spirituality and Health magazine, and then I found out about YogaFit, and that's an
Oh, okay.
amazing project.
It's funny because I thought you found me. I had written a chapter for a cookbook. I think it was published by Rodale Press, and it was called The Sugar Solution. And I wrote a whole thing on sugar, so I thought that's perhaps how you have found me.
I found you through sugar, that is for sure. And
Okay.
the sugar solution, I'm gonna have to check that out because in an essence, that's come up a lot with my family with diabetes coming in later, and so sugar is really something to be looked at. But the article that I originally found, you wrote, I was really looking to look at what sugar does to us spiritually when we do spiritual work, and you were connecting it to third eye and how that can calcify from the sugar.
Yeah, it's funny when I went to go do plant medicine on several occasions, one of the things on the do not eat list prior to your journey is sugar.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Uh,
Do you eat sugar now?
um, I do in very limited capacity. I'm not really much of a sugar person, fortunately. I'm much more like if you give me a choice between a sugar snack and a salty snack, I'll take the salty snack. Occasionally I'll put a pack of sugar in my oolong black Chinese tea because, that's what I always did at the Chinese restaurants when I drank it. But because of all the yoga that I've done and the body sensitivity that I have, I can look at like a cupcake and think, okay, that's going to taste good, but then I also know how it's going to make my body feel. And 9 times out of 10, it will stop me from putting the sugar in my mouth.
Bingo, right? Oh my gosh, that's excellent. That's I still do sugar sometimes too, and I understand that it's not good for me. So the the spiritual work that I do for my transformation work has been connected to yoga work, and it's similar where if you do have that mind body connection, you can get past the want to look at what it will do to you internally, like you said, and then you can override that if by choice, right?
Yeah, and I talk a lot about that in my book, Yoga Lean. I touch on what I call lean consciousness, which is
Ooh,
kind of like witness consciousness that we learn through yoga. But lean consciousness is that you're listening to your body. Your body tells you what food it needs to have. Not what foods you want, but what foods your body needs, because there's a difference. And then you also, jump ahead a little bit to feel the feelings of how your body will feel once you eat that food or drink that drink. And this can be done with sugar. It can be done with alcohol. It can be done, with a variety of different foods. Once you know how something makes you feel, if it doesn't really make you feel good, although some people are addicted to carbohydrates in a way that's unhealthy, typically you can make a good choice by practicing lean consciousness.
oh, I'm gonna have to get that book. That is fabulous. I really connected to that lean consciousness, and and I think what your book is gonna help people do, and especially any of my listeners out there, is even like you said, it doesn't have to be naturally. It could be anything outside of us, right? Because anything that's outside of us that takes us away from ourselves is something that we could look at to process whether it's good for us, right? Even sex, love, relationships, different things. Um, and that lean consciousness, I like that. I like that vibe. When did you write the book?
Yoga Lean was released in 2014. It's published by Random House, Penguin Press, and it's available on yogafit.com and also available on Amazon and any of your local booksellers.
Oh, very, very cool. Finding you is like a jackpot for me. I really just connected to every little bit and nuance I was pulling up, and really, you're an inspiration. When did you start YogaFit? You said you started that in the back of your car in LA.
Yeah, I was living by the beach, and I had moved after college. I moved straight to Los Angeles, where I started formally practicing yoga, although I've been doing guided meditation and imagery and yoga since I was about 6 years old. And I started taking formal yoga classes with a woman named Renee Taylor, who was 93 at the time, and she taught from a desk. And then I decided I should take a couple of, certifications. Maybe I would teach seniors or something. And at that time, the only way you could get a yoga certification was to go in residence for upwards of a month. So I did about 2 of those programs, but when I went to go to the gym to teach, I found that the gym environment was different. People wanted to work out. They didn't want to lay around on the floor where it was cold in the rooms. They didn't want to do a pose and then rest and do another pose and then rest. They needed a very active fitness-based yoga. The name YogaFit came to me on a bike ride in 1994, shortly after my first teacher training. And then I did a cable TV show called YogaFit. I did an audio tape for some of my neighbors who ran an audiobook company. The woman who owned my health club that I was working out at asked me to do a yoga studio within the club, and then I started to write articles about how fitness clubs can make yoga a profit center in their clubs from one of the articles, and they gave me space to do a little ad that I put together myself. I still have it, where I said I hire, train, and certify yoga instructors. We got 250 responses off that ad that led to our first training in Fargo, North Dakota in 1997. At the time, we incorporated the company, and we've been doing business ever since.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I mean, you're just blowing my mind with this beautiful journey you've had. Wow. And I love how you said that, you brought up seniors, because when I was reading on your websites, you do something called karma yoga, where people, your trainers have to give back.
And started as a school. We've required every person who goes through the level 1 training to do 8 hours of community service work teaching in order to get their YogaFit level 1 certificate.
Oh, so beautiful. I love that.
I wonder, can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Sure.
Beth, do you do any of the silver slipper gyms?
Are you referring to Silver Sneaker?
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, we've trained a bunch of their people, and we have trained over 250,000 yoga and fitness professionals worldwide since 1997.
Beautiful.
Wow.
So I'm sure YogaFit has a lot of instructors in those gyms.
I have a question for you, Beth. Now, I looked up online. Now, I'm really fascinated. I love yoga. Hot yoga is my favorite. I love traditional hot yoga. I love vinyasa, but I really like your idea of YogaFit, and I think so. I started looking around at you. Do you have to already be a certified yoga trainer to become certified as a YogaFit instructor? So you come with prior knowledge, or how does that work?
That's an excellent question. No, you do not. Anyone who wants to learn about yoga, and being mindful of that, YogaFit has over 50 different educational programs, everything for yoga for diabetes, yoga for heart health, yoga therapy. We work with the military and veterans and first responders in our YogaFit Warriors program. We've got a YogaFit Kids, Seniors, Pre-Postnatal program. So if you're a person who's challenged with something, and let's face it, most of us are,
right,
you're going to come and take a YogaFit training that you'd like at a YogaFit conference. We run 15 a year across North America, or you're going to go to an independent training in your area and just take what calls to you, because, a lot of people are suffering with a lot of things. We have a huge mental health track right now, trauma-based yoga, PTSD. In fact, my 4th book that I'm working on right now is called Healing Trauma with Yoga. It will be released in October from Cardinal Publishing. So we've got something for everyone, teacher or enthusiast.
Wow, like I said, this has just happened over the last week or two that I found. I'm really fascinated with who you came to be here. The work that I trade in and work with people is to free themselves from, fear and doubt so they could be who they came to be. And usually in the middle of that, people are deciding, hey, I want to do what calls to me. I want to do something healthy. I want to do something that has to do with spirit, mind, and body. And you've got a class where people can hone in. I love that you have yoga that can go for diet. I have a foundation that just reached out to me and wants me to do transformation work with diabetes patients so we can help them retrain their mind to make better decisions for what they are going to be eating, right? When you find out you have diabetes, all of a sudden your diet changes. And look, you've got lean consciousness and you've got, the different yoga setup for all these different types of who we came to be, right? Everyone could find a way to connect and create a life worth living and sharing with others and support themselves in a healthy and fun way. I love this.
That's exactly right. Everybody, has health as their birthright, and our mind is so powerful if we're controlling our bodies. When people learn how to harness their minds, they make much better choices that lead to good health.
Yes, right. And we've heard it our whole life, health is wealth, right? And when you do work like you and I do, and several of the listeners and people that we know are on this journey, and people who are starting the journey, even adepts and masters, we realize we have to work to keep it. We do. I love, you inspired me really personally with your story of how you started your dream. You just got in the car and you said you went from college down to LA. Did you go to college in New York too?
I did. Yeah, I went to college on Long Island.
So you're a New Yorker by heart.
I am a born and raised New Yorker, yes, who had the good fortune of living on the West Coast for 20 years to develop my spiritual life, which probably would not have gotten developed if I had stayed in New York City.
Oh,
and then you brought it home, right, Beth?
Yeah, well, I'm bringing it everywhere right now. We have an office in Toronto. We have corporate headquarters in Las Vegas. So I'm on the road a lot. This year I've probably been to 5-6 countries already. I did a training for women in Saudi Arabia in January. I'm out there still very much as the founder of the company, trying to make a positive difference in the world by either educating myself at various different conferences and events or sharing the mission of YogaFit with people around the world.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is a busy, busy schedule. And when you were talking about working in Saudi Arabia, I had a woman's name flash through my head that she works with the UN and with trafficking and training your girls. And I'd love to possibly tell her about what you're doing, because if it's something that people can train and do all over the world, then you could bring this healthy choices and help people and women and get that positive body reference back to them that really empowers us to be better global leaders. I love that. I
think that would be.
Well, we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I want to connect you to her if I may. I love that you're going back to school. What you said about your journey was, you built you had a dream, you followed it, you built everything, and now you're going to school afterwards to really solidify, because what you did, I don't think, from what I know, and I don't know everything, you've done an amazing feat besides just creating, I don't like that word, you created this amazing healthcare industry, but now you're taking it like global, and that does require that extra education. So I honor that, and it's something that I think about all the time on my own journey. So tell me about managing a business that is already so big and going to school. Do you find a lot of time for self-care in there, or how do you manage all that?
I really make time for self-care. And for me, self-care really comes down to exercise, yoga, meditation, which I incorporate, 7 days a week, and taking a lot of supplements, and keeping a positive mindset. I went back to school because YogaFit is a school, and I also wanted to study business models of schools that are successful, such as Harvard, and how they do things, because I'm very intrigued by how people model their organization. I went down to Brazil to John of God last year and spent about a week down there, and I saw how they kind of did their processing of people, and I saw some ways that I would have done things very different as an educator and someone who disseminates information to people in the midst of transformation. So that being said, I went back to Harvard last fall because I have tried to hire various people to run our school because, again, I do not have a master's of business administration, and I'm much more of a creative visionary than I am a business person, although I've often been forced, into that role. So I just made a decision that I should try and be the person that I want to hire.
Yes. And so I'm building a business on my own, and I'm at the very beginning. I'm not even anywhere near you. So does it feel like, do you feel comfortable that that's something you're going to be able to let go of as you're lifting yourself up higher to do the more, the word that comes to mind is benevolent. I don't know why, but as you have to let go of some things to make room for that new platform. Am I making sense?
Yeah, no, you definitely do, and we're very fortunate at YogaFit that we have a very solid team of people who have been with us for a very long time, mostly women, and, many of them started as YogaFit students and then became YogaFit trainers and then took on additional responsibility because they loved the company that much. I've got one woman who has been with us, pretty much since we started. She was at our first training in Redondo Beach, California in 1997. She's been with the company that long. Our vice president has been with the company for over 17 years. So, and then when I look to people to help support and sustain the business, oftentimes I'm looking at some of our trainers who have different skill sets, whether it's business development or good communication skills, to kind of help fill in the blanks, because we are, despite our very large global footprint, we are a very small company. In fact, we were just nominated for Forbes Small Giants Award last week in Detroit. I just got back from that event, and I think a small giant really describes who YogaFit is.
I like it. I actually was just thinking that you are definitely Forbes material with the way that this platform is running and the longevity from your employees and having people that have been with you since the very beginning. It's a testament to you and to your energy and your commitment, and that you have this great presence, because I think, we can't keep attracting and working and create such a big platform if we don't have all that goodness inside of us. So I feel excited for you to keep going and growing. I'm impressed. Like I literally just, it blew my mind when I started researching a little bit further into what you're doing and giving back to the community in such a way that really is a calling that not everyone can hear the call. So I honor you and I honor your journey.
Thank you. I was just thinking to myself today, we have so many people on the planet, and some people will always step to the forefront to help advance mankind, and some people will just kind of be here along for the ride. And then we have people, like the person who shot people in North Carolina at that college last week, and actually our vice president's nephew was one of the two people who were killed. So you have people who detract from humanity, and we can only hope that the more people that show up on planet Earth, they're committed to advancing mankind.
Right. I agree, and that's beautiful. And definitely yoga is a way to do that. And how you created YogaFit made it something that a normal, typical, everyday American who loves to work out, loves their sports and fitness can find and bring into their living room, into their heart, into their gym, is definitely a big part of that. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the show today, Beth. I definitely would love to have you again on sometime, especially when your new book comes out.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much. And let's keep in touch. You can keep in touch with me on yogafit.com, of course, or bethshaw.com. My Instagram is Beth Shaw Mind Body. And through my personal website, I'm always trying to bring new health hacks to people, whether it's magic weighted blankets or red light therapy or new information on exercise, because I'm truly passionate about health and wellness, and I like to share as much of that information as I can.
Okay, well, I'll be forwarding and sharing your information because there's no need to recreate the wheel. You are doing amazing things, and I would love to promote you in every way I can.
Great, and you and I will keep in touch, and if you need any business advice, feel free to reach out to me.
Oh, thank you. Namaste.
And I just
Thank
want
you.
to say that all the information, all the addresses, all the ways of getting in touch with Beth is all over the blog, all over Facebook. So tonight's show will be also listened to on a video on the landing page and in YouTube by tomorrow.
Thank you, Beth, and you have a wonderful rest of your night.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Goodbye now. Okay, Beth just blew my mind. She is a dynamo. Any crying I've been doing, any lagging I've been doing, any not, waiting for some fear to break through so I could raise the bar was already breaking through today, and that just sealed my deal. Beth just ignited my heart. I'm working in my 10-week directive this week on bat medicine. It's been a interesting week, and it's about rebirth. And I meditate every time the beginning of these shows, and I connect my crown to spirit, and I connect my root chakra, my transpersonal chakra to earth, to Mother Earth, to connect my flow, to be open, to keep me out of it, to stay focused, to remember and help create a great show. And when I was meditating, with the work that I've done recently, and Beth coming on the show, this was the first time the light came all the way down, and I saw it literally light up every chakra in my body. So I'm fascinated right now with the way things are moving, energy's moving. I am literally blown away by the commitment of this one woman and her journey and where it started and where she is and how she's continuing to give of self for planetary evolving and movement in mind and body wellness. Congratulations, Beth Shaw.
How about a suggestion?
Yeah.
And because we're talking about that, and as a matter of fact, Dr. Randall.
I love Dr. Randall.
Nazwa. Sure. He has also said the same thing, and we said it last time we talked. The best thing to do, and the only way to get around the world, and the way to do things that is impossible, like we've just done tonight. I don't know how, but who knows. But the way to do it is to just say to yourself at all times, I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will. Everything you want to do if you say, I can.
Right, and I'll take it a step further, because a lot of times we don't hear what we're saying, but after you said I can, you said you will. The truth is we will everything we do, and so literally we can do anything we will. So you're right.
But the first thing that everybody always says is, oh, well, I can't do that.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about, you said,
positive.
Remember I can,
right?
And I want to focus on that. I always want to focus on that. And you said, remember, I can. And it's interesting because what Bob is saying, and him and I are always talking about the same things, is we both went through a bunch of different loops to try and make this telephone call work, because we really wanted Beth on the phone today. And then I had some internet problems. And so we're just like staying in the flow, being positive. Never once was, I'm like, it's going to happen, right? If we stay positive, if we stay in our flow, we're going to create what we are being inside. We talked about it at the very beginning of the show. We can only create what we're being. We will only connect outward to what we're being. I had several things happen today that really not a normal person would have been able to stay on the upper side of that energy level. And I didn't even talk about half of them because it's just stuff I laugh at, because it's a part of my journey to learn how to process things that come up out of the blue. And you're like, nope, this is flow. Everything happens for a reason. This is good stuff. And you stay positive. You will your life through I can weather the storm, right? And Bob's right. And so is Dr. Randall. And so is Beth. We're talking about healthy choices, willing our life, changing and going back to the board and going, what can I do bigger, better? How do I give all? Once we do our transformation work, we get out of the I, we get out of our head, and we really can start being a part of the whole. And as we're a part of the whole, we can just fluctuate there and be in that circle of likeness until we're ready, and then we can move up again by going, well, how can I actually make things better for the whole, right? How can I make things better for our society and for others? And how do I leave the planet a better place than I found it? Did you say we have a call?
Oh, we got a few.
Oh, cool. Yeah, let's talk to people.
Okay,
I'm so jazzed. You're like, okay.
We will. Okay, you want to talk to somebody? Okay, we will.
I'm just so excited today.
Let's see. Okay, who's on area code 206?
Hi, it's Diana.
Hi, Diana. How are you?
Hello.
Did you hear the show?
Yeah, it was kind of funny because any of the website links I clicked into, my phone wouldn't sync and I couldn't get anything. So then finally I just called in, and I wasn't really calling in to talk, but it's the only way I could listen to the show.
You're here now. You're here now. So what'd you think? What'd you think of the show?
Well, the only thing was I apologize, but I could hear you and Bob, but I could not hear Beth. And so I'm going to have to listen back to the show and catch what she said. So
yeah, she was awesome. She was awesome. You're going to love it.
I know.
Okay, since you
barely hear. But
I'm going through spirit-led connections here. I'm just going to take over the driving wheel that Bob usually does. Since you didn't plan on calling in, but you're here, since you can't comment or chat with me about Beth, I'll let you talk about graduating your second 90-day transformation. Congratulations! You graduated yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Or is it today? Monday, yeah.
No. Area code 509. Just stay where you are. We'll be to you in a sec.
So I just wanted to say congratulations, Diana.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Give it there. Yeah.
The second 90-day transformation was a much deeper internal journey than the first 90-day transformation and the innate journey. But yeah, you're talking about just it goes so deep. Like internally connecting, being aware of your frequencies and how you just operate every day. There's just so much. Going through breast cancer during the surgery, and but still charging through and coming out a hero, a warrior. Like I can do this.
A double hero, double warrior, right? You as I was telling you last night, that sometimes you don't see yourself, just like most of us don't, and you've done so much, so miraculously in the last, 4 months, 5 months, that I hope you remember to give yourself a big pat on the back, a big hug. To do transformation work where we're transforming is incredible. But in the middle of breast cancer, remember, that is a warrior. You are a warrior. You did it.
Yeah. And it's just like learning, just keeping on practicing how to continue to honor yourself for all of the awesome things that you are doing. And, of course, my paths take me into different areas, like whether it's journaling or writing or editing or rock painting or, in my shine bright, taking care of my daughter's dog, my beautiful Archer, walking in the woods, getting sticks, rocks, flowers, whatever. But it's just like honoring and cherishing your life and always being in connection with spirit, because that's the number one relationship.
I felt all that. It's so beautiful. What I was hearing was creation, right? When we are being creation, we're in that infinity loop of now. And it's so intoxicatingly wonderful and glorious. And when we have that sense of self where we can connect to spirit, we are, and energy goes where attention flows, right? So if we're in that flow, we're creating joy and peace, and that's what I heard you speak about. And I think it was a couple shows ago you said too, you're like, I got through the weekend, I'm like, how did I have such a good weekend? It's like, oh yeah, I'm connected, right?
Yeah, I was in self-love, and
Yeah.
I know people might think I'm kind of crazy for painting rocks. Even my little sister asked me last night, she said, why are you painting these? What are you going to do with them? And I'm like, I don't know why I know why I do them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
Deanna,
but I know why I do it.
Yeah, I really thought they looked kind of cool.
I love them too. I love them too. And I'm sure your sister does too. She's just asking you from a different point of reference. We hear whatever we hear, but she meant whatever she meant. She might ask, she might have wondered what you're really going to do with them, right? Because I always tell you, are you going to sell those? That's art, right? You can sell those. People will buy them. I will buy one. I like and it makes me think of this. Bob and Diana, you're going to get a kick out of this. I hope I remember it right. We all know that we have to, when we hear the call from deep inside, we have to follow, right? That we're all the type of person when we, the radio show, what we do, our spirituality, our work. But there's a little kid who whittles little animals out of wood, and he just can't stop. That's what he does. And they're amazing, like this art that he does. And he is maybe slightly autistic or something like that. I can't remember. But that's his calling. And when you said your sister was like, what are you going to do with that? I just thought of him because his parents are like, that's what he does. And they're like, they totally honor it, right? He's just this artist, and he can't stop doing it. And you're always with the rocks. You're like, I can't stop picking up the rocks and painting them. I love to, right? I can't stop writing, and trying to connect and do all these blogs. We find our passion. And that's that connection to spirit. It looks different on everyone. It's beautiful.
It does. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'll put them in a box. Maybe I'll sell them. Maybe, I don't know. But all I know
so
is
many
that
things.
Another kind of an interesting perspective on that is my last rock was, it was really an exploration into, because usually they just come out and they are what they are, and it just happens. This one was like really going into the light and the dark, and I want black, but there's this red heart, and there's these vibrant colors in this yellow flower, and it's all vibrant, but I need the dark. And it was like a whole internal exploration of what I think is like the left brain, which is like your culprit, always kind of judging you, going, oh, you're not good enough, you're not creative, what are you doing, this is a mess. And then I go up and I wash it off underneath, take a break, and then go up and just wash it underneath the faucet, and it still has remnants of what I've done. And then you go back in and put more flowers on it and do this and that, and that it's your right brain that comes in that is spirit-led, and that brings out the beauty, and then it turns into something beautiful. So
sounds like transformation work to me.
I know. It is transformation work. And I don't know if anybody else understands that. But whether you put it down on paper or in words or in a painting or a writing, if you just get it all out there, it's like art therapy. It will reveal itself to you.
It will. And that's, I always say, if we're creating, that we do not have, unless we're, I'm not going to go to that end, but when we are in creation, we are in spirit, so we are creating joy. We can't be focusing on pain or past or anything that's not happening in the now when we're focused on it. So, as we talk about in the journey, the future is not real. We're only, the future's now. We literally create our future in the moment. And the past is only available to us if we look back at it, right? So anything we give our attention to is what creates our now. Our now could be a choice of creating our future or looking backwards and for a connect. And so what you were talking about, to me, what I hear is that total the infinity loop of now. When we're in the middle of that infinity loop of now, we've won, because we're in creation, we're at joy, we are not, and that could be, remember we've talked about this before, that could be cleaning your house, it could be sanding your picnic bench. It could be like Bob writing a song or playing his guitar or getting on his motorcycle. For me, it could be training the dogs, or it can be, deciding how I'm going to build the brand and business. And so when we are creating, we're in bliss. But when we're thinking about it and then we're blocked from doing, that could be a disconnect. And that really leads to transformation work. If anyone out there's listening, when we clear these blocks, even like Beth said earlier in the show, when we learn the difference between what we want and how it will affect us, when we understand the difference between those feelings, when we realize we are not what we think, that we are not our feelings, that we choose them, that we apply a meaning to them. So once we really learn that we choose our thoughts and feelings, we assign the meaning to them, we color them with our emotion. Once we realize it, can see that we're the ones doing that, then we realize that we could change that, because we become a powerful creator at that point. Until then, we're just being used by our whims, and we're being kind of manhandled by unregulated ways to act or react to things. But if we've learned that we can stop the press, per se, and really stop to look at ourselves and analyze it. That's what transformation work does. It allows you to, in real time, stop and go, whoa, I don't need to react to that. Whoa, who am I listening to, right? Diana was talking about the left and the right brain. Bob was talking about we will, right? So we can listen to the left or the right. We do have a choice to use our free will for our highest good, not our lowest nature. If you hear me talk about highest good and lowest nature, that's all it is. You can assign your own meaning to that, but lowest nature is an impulse or reaction, right? And that can be broken down in several different ways. It could be like I posted a blog on it. I wrote in 2015 about the brain systems and how they work. We have old coding in there from the beginning of time that we could recode, and that old coding was still a part of the coding that we're using in real time. We've talked about it on other shows that life is always changing. Bob's talking about the light body that's coming. There's always something coming, because we're always changing and flexing in real time. Nothing's really ever coming. It always is. And we're choosing what we're looking at or looking backwards at. Collective conscious only exists because we're all looking at it. Literally, it could be cleared. And that's a whole different story. And so when we think about transformation work, we go to that highest esoteric level that I ended on. We could start at the beginning level, which is, I don't want to eat that sugar or that ice cream, right? I'm talking about the ice cream that I ate. So we can have fun with transformation work, right? We can get excited, right? Bob can make magic to make this show happen for me today, and I can choose not to get stressed out because I'm worried about bothering my friend and asking him to do too much for me, right? And then I could trust in the process that that's just my fear trying to go, even if it didn't, that's how it happens, right? Beth was able to pull over and be on the show with us, and we had such an amazing show with her that I'm just so excited for that connection. Diana didn't plan on calling in today, but she got to call in and talk about her rock therapy. If you're interested in knowing what that is, you can go look at some of her artwork. I'd love to promote some of that on my Facebook page. If anyone's out there and you want to connect to self-love, we have a trifecta of people that are here sharing how you do that. Don't you agree, Bob, Diana?
Go ahead, Diana. Yep.
Bob's a gentleman. He's always going to digress to you, and when you go, yep, he goes, oh.
Yeah. No, ladies. No, I'm sorry, man. It's ladies first.
Yeah, he's a gentleman.
I still hold doors.
Good.
I mean, we have people listening to us all over the place, and let me make that real quick thing right now, because people are listening to us right now in Singapore. If you people want to call in, you may not be able to make it this show, but you can do it in the future. All you have to do is dial 65, which is your country code. It's 65-3138-9300. Then you put in the code 608060 #. If you do that, you can call us right here when we're on the show. Again, 65-3138-9300. 608060 #. they can do it. I mean, we've got numbers. We got numbers that go around the world.
And I just wanted to let you guys know that I need Bob's help because I'm super slow. I just missed a text message from Beth. We could have kept her on the show a little bit longer, but thankfully she's going to come back on again, and we're super excited about that. I love hearing Bob say that we've got people all over the world listening. We're all connected, and this is a worldwide self-love show. If you're hearing me out there now or later on the recorded session, or if you're watching the video later, I love you. This is worldwide self-love. It does make a difference when we vibrate and shine collectively together across this planet. I like to think of it as souls streaming live. And that energy that we're creating, it bounces out. You're not alone. And it's a beautiful place here. Share the links. Call in if you can. If you can't call in, and write us a message, send it to any of our emails, and we'll answer it for you online, right, Bob?
Yeah, they can also go into the landing page and they can put it right into the chat box.
Yeah,
there's a chat room there. They can talk to us from anywhere in the world during the shows. They can write here and write into us while we have a show going.
Yeah, you guys can ask questions and write in as the show is happening, and Bob will go, I got a question. So if you need a little anonymity still, or if you don't want to call in and be heard, you can type a question. Even if you just show up, if you want to just say hi, and we'll do a shout out to you wherever you are. This is us growing the vibration of self-love. Self-love is self-care. Now, for a long time in history, we've been shown the opposite, right? The journey at Internal Narcissists was to learn how to love ourselves for who we are on the inside versus the outside, right? To break Maya's illusion, to learn how to be and connect to our beautiful nature, our connection with God, with Spirit, however we choose to name that. And so we are doing that. And self-love equals self-care. That, I believe truthfully translates into sustainability. Once we care for ourselves, our human body and selves, once we care for our matter, once we learn how to tend our emotions, we can start caring for our families, our communities, our friends, the ocean, the forest, mother, animals, like the whole earth. And that is something that's happening faster than it's ever had. We are all alive in a very amazing time and frequency right now. So I honor that. I honor everyone out there, and I honor the journey. Everyone's on a journey. And as Beth said, we're all in different places, and we all get to choose. Just because you're in a place doesn't mean you can't choose to be another place. That's transformation work at its core. We realize something's wrong. We want more. There's something more. We want to do things better. We want to change. That change helps you go from this place over here, and then if you want, up here, and then up further. And I'm gonna ride some coattails here. I'm gonna be checking out Beth's story, because my vision is global for internal journeys as well, and I think that she's going to be a real good mentor, and I'm thankful for Spirit for connecting us and her offering that guidance. I think my clients and my friends, I learn from them every day. I couldn't be and do and have what I am right now without working with my clients so lovingly and intently. They really help me shine bright. And Bob, oh my God, thank you so much for this platform and allowing me to do the show for free, because that is something that I needed to help get me to the next spot. And so hopefully anybody out there listening, Bob allows me to do the show for free right now. So we have some links out there if you want to donate to help keep Conscious Radio going, Conscious Speaks. We'd love that donation for the station. I don't do those plugs very often. Pretty soon I'll be able to handle that on my own, but anybody out there, love trickles down and across.
Let me tell you how to do that too. It's pretty easy. We made this so easy. Yeah, you could do this. You could do this in your slippers. Silver slippers, silver. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, the silver sneakers.
Oh well, what did I know? But I'm going to go to one of those things. I'm going to get big muscles, or
just get yoga muscles nice and lean.
Something like that. Yeah, I'm going to look like the Hulk when it's all done.
I'm going to do YogaFit. I am.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
this is what you do. You go to pyramid1network.com. That's our main site. That's where you can go and you can hit right into the landing page by just clicking on the picture of the pyramids. When you click on the picture, bam, you're right in the landing page. Now, how do you donate to the station, to the shows? It's easy. Go to www.pyramid1network.com, and on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see Donate. There's 2 links there. One of them, if you want to put a credit card or something in, you just click on that one there, you put it in there, no problem. The second one, if you want to join PayPal and you want to put in a donation, you do it on that link. So you pick either one of them, and you put a donation into PayPal, which goes right into us. Now, how do you fuel these shows? It's easy. Just like Deanna does. You call on the phone. The number 605-472-5765. The access code is 608060 #. Now, I just gave a number out to Singapore. Anywhere in the world can write into us. All you have to do is write Bob Charles Show at live.com, and I will send you your country's number to call in to the show. As long as you speak English and we can understand you, we love you. Even if you didn't speak English, I can still I can still get around that one too. I mean, come on, I'm from New York. You never know what you're going to hear there. Right. So in the other way, and that this show is probably going to be in short order. I don't think it's going to be a long time. The more we mix up Facebook and Twitter, and it's on let me see, Pinterest and all these other things that this goes on, the more and more it gets put in there by people like you that are listening. When you see it on Facebook or on Twitter, retweet, share with your contacts. Tell them to share. If one person shares, 50,000 from that one person can share by the end of 2 hours.
And we are going for worldwide self-love. It is my mission. So at some point we'll be able to really start giving those T-shirts away, like I said, having self-love internal journeys worldwide, having people that are stakeholders for us and that are going to be working social media wise in different countries. I have big plans for us. We can't talk here today, but I have big plans for us and our self-love worldwide mission, and that is to free our minds from fear so we can live from our wide open hearts. And it's going to happen. It's real time, and it's all of us. We're stronger together. So I'll meet you here next Monday. We'll do it again.
There you go, Deanna.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Yay! Self-love makes the world go round.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to get out of here right now. Anywhere in the world, we are praying a better day for you. God bless y'all. Bob Charles.